But I do want to get back to the LeBron James thing. So if we're talking, if you could put one player with LeBron his whole career, D Wade, Kyrie, AD, who you picking?
Luka Doncic. Nah. If I had to pick one to play with him the whole time,
His entire like from rookie year to now, who you picking?
that's so tough, honestly.
Yeah.
I like part of me really want to say Wade because they won 2 and went to 4. But honestly, I believe Kyrie could have did the same thing, like had they stayed healthy. Man, I don't know.
It's tough.
That's so tough. I think AD for me is last, simply because of injury proneness and stuff. But all three of them had their injuries. But like AD, I feel more so the injury proneness.
I think AD's 3 easy because we got the least out of them because of him.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So and AD's AD don't really show up in big games like that. Like he's like consistently a really good player, but like the best players got to take it up a notch in the big games. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we don't see that enough from AD. You know what I mean? Like the LeBron 41, Kyrie 41 game, we ain't never had no AD game like that. You know what I mean? That I can think of.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like that he got to slide third based off that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, them Cleveland years, dog, them was special. Like, and I feel like them Cleveland years, the way Bron played, that version of Bron, I feel is the best version of Bron, just in my opinion. Mm-hmm. In those 20s, 15, 16, 17, 18, that's the best version of Bron, in my opinion. But oh man, I want to say Kyrie, honestly, but I feel like that's disrespectful to Wade because in the grand scheme of things, Wade is the better player individual.
Mm-hmm.
But to play with Bron, I feel like it might be Kyrie, like just to go with Bron. I love Bron and Kyrie. I might just be being nostalgic, but I really love Bron and Kyrie together, bro. It might be them.
So part of me wants to agree with you. I'm not doing this to like be competitive, like legit basketball talk here. The reason why I want to say D Wade is because how can I say this nicely? LeBron does have pockets where he doesn't show up. He does have pockets where it's like, bro, what you doing? Like, come on, bro.
Like not being aggressive and stuff.
Yeah, it's like he either coasting off of lack of effort, or he just doesn't. I saw this move from LeBron a couple days ago, and it looks so clunky. He doesn't look smooth, and he just doesn't look as effortless when he does some things sometimes. And I don't want to say he has a lack of skill, but it's just sometimes because he's been so muscle driven for so long, it shows up as a lack of skill. We look at skill being like Kyrie and how effortless things look, how smooth things look. LeBron has high level of skill. You don't become 40,000 points in he's creeping up to be top 5 in threes, bro. Like he's finna be top 10 in rebounds. He's top 10 rebounds and top 10 assists. He's probably finna be top 5 in assists, I think, if he's not already. So like you don't do all these things without having a high level of skill. Not even talking about IQ. That's a whole different skill that he has. But I think he just has times where like either he can't skill or finesse his way to being better, and he just muscles his way through it, or he just doesn't do it for lack of effort. He just coasts sometimes. And so I'd much rather have the Robin who can, oh, you ain't got it? I got you. Cool. No worries. So now I want you to be willfully or intentionally or more strategic. That's the word, strategic with how you coast. Not more so of like, I ain't got it tonight, so we just kind of hope that this guy can take over. This guy can have a game. So you can have like, bruh, I got Kawhi, PG, who else he's matching up with? Kawhi, PG, Paul Pierce, Melo, in the next 2 weeks, bro. I can't afford to waste effort on such and such. I'm not trying to throw no shade, so I'll just say it seems like that.
Understandable. I'm waiting on the
So
name.
I think about people that I was like, I ain't gonna do that to them. But but yeah, I ain't trying to waste effort on them. Let me do what I need to do for these, and I know that's gonna be your night off because if I got PG guarding me, you got George Hill. If I got Melo matchup, if we talking next year's, you got J.R. Smith or Shump. Now Shump ain't no slouch on defense, but you know you can afford to have a little bit difference on that game, or who else I said? Kawhi. So if we're talking Kawhi with the Spurs, you got Ginobili, Danny Green, Tony Parker matching up with you. You feel me? The next game, you got a night off. Or let's go the other route. You got Kobe next game. If I need to, I got you that game, bro. So like I know what you're dealing with. Let me take the load for you. So you feel me? Like I'd much rather have it skillfully, strategically, us mixing up who's doing what. When you got Kyrie, either kill or don't kill, bro. How much you killing? The efficiency of you killing. That's what it is. Not because like that Kyrie could defend, but not as good as a defender as he is now. His wasn't as locked in mentally. He could pass, but he's a better passer now. So I'd much rather have Wade with him because I can be more strategic with who gets the nights off. So I know how the match is going to be. It's a tough 1-2 punch. And we ain't even talking about having Bosh or Kevin Love. We ain't excluding the rest of the roster. It's just like between me and you versus you and your matchup. Like that's how we kind of think about it now. So I think Wade would be the better fit just off of that. Knowing how LeBron is, like I can drop 30 and it'd be easy. You drop 30 and it'd be easy. And we still win by 15 because of how great we are combined with how the team is. And like we don't have to sweat this entire game. Versus Kyrie is like, yeah, we can do the same thing, but we win by 15 because it's not as it's a little bit different guarding us. Like if Kyrie has an off game, what more is he giving you? Especially at that time. So it's like, Wade has an off game. He still gets to the foul line. He can pick it up on defense. He can be a little bit of a playmaker. So for me, I think Wade is like, if we could go back to 03 and somehow finesse it to where Wade and Bron end up playing together. Granted, I don't think we get the same D-Wade and Bron. I know that conversation comes up, but like just have fun with us for a minute, guys. Like if we get D-Wade and LeBron being who they were, starting from 03, that's the pick I have.
I can roll with that. Another thing that helped Mike and Pip is Mike was obviously already there before Pip, and he was already the guy. Pip showed up, and it's like, we got you to help Mike, obviously. Like, we got everybody in here to help Mike. Mike need help. So, Bron and Wade drafted in the same draft class. I mean, obviously, these are hypotheticals. If Bron was there first, it would have been like, cool. Like, D-Wade show up, you robbing. But like not how we always talk about Bron go to Miami, that's Wade team. So now it's like, all right, we gotta figure this out. Who team is it? Who take the last shot? This and that. That's a lot of why they had their initial issues. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Still great, just off the strength of being great, but that's part of the issue. But if you had that situation, like I'm just saying, like the situation that them Bulls teams was in. The most ideal thing that could happen. Literally. It don't get more ideal. You drafted your guy, third pick in the draft, Michael Jordan, who turns out to be exactly what you expect him to be, the greatest player you want and the greatest guy. You got him, drafted him. Cool. Now we just put pieces around him. Then you draft Scottie Pippen. I think Pitt was like late first round or second round. He wasn't early because Pitt was drafted from a small college. So I think he was like late first round or drafted in the second round, something like that. Mm-hmm. And he becomes Scottie Pippen, obviously. That is the most ideal thing you could ever do to build a team, honestly. And it is a lot of luck involved, obviously. But You already got Mike. You drafted Mike. A couple years later, you get Pip. And Mike became the guy. Pip come in. Pip know Mike the guy. Bron go to Miami. It's like, all right, I'm Bron, you Wade, but this Miami, this your team, Wade County. Mm-hmm. We got to figure it out. But yeah, I could see how you would say Wade though. Wade can carry the load.
Yeah,
better than Kyrie, I would say. And Kyrie, like you said, Kyrie's a scorer. That's his thing. So Bron is like, I'll do everything else. You be you. Mm-hmm. But when you got Bron and Wade, it's more so like we got to do what we do, and like basically like almost like taking turns doing what we do.
Yeah.
Because I know you can do this, I can do this. You can score, you can carry the load, I can carry the load. You know what I mean? I can facilitate, you can score, and vice versa. We can both guard. So maybe you're probably right. Because they both can do so much of everything, it makes them that much more dangerous. Mm-hmm. I think Bron and Kyrie just had that fit of like Bron, especially at Bron that point in his career. It was like, all right, I got all this. You score. You be you.
Yeah.
I know that's you. Bron talk about how talented Kyrie is all the time and stuff. You be you on this offensive end, and I got this. I got the facilitating and stuff. I'm going to score. I get mine out of the offense. I'm going to still be me, but you be you. Don't worry about doing nothing else. On defense, you guard Clay and, run around with him. And I got, the facilitating, the running the offense, to making sure other guys touch the ball. Because that's why I think that's why Kyrie won't be a good one for that specific instance. Like I'm not looking for everybody else to touch the ball. I don't care. Not that he don't care. I don't want to make somebody a bad guy, but that's not his game. Yeah. That's not his thing.
Yeah.
So I can roll with Bron and Wade. Bron and Wade for 8 years of prime, they getting 6 rings. At least 5.
Yeah, minimum 5. Like it's
minimum 5. With health on their side.
Yeah. I think, like you said, Kyrie is like the perfect fit of just like because D-Wade and Bron was an awkward fit because you got to figure out who does what, which is also, it's a gift and a curse because D-Wade and Bron are like, does he have it tonight or do I have it tonight? I'm feeling it, but I need to get his touch. It's a little bit more of a push and pull. You got to feel stuff out. But night in, night out, Kyrie knows I'm going to get buckets. LeBron knows get buckets when I want to, but I'm doing everything else. And so if I'm picking that for career-wise, I'd rather have Wade because that's when coaching comes in. That's where GM comes in. I'm picking stuff around that too. But if I'm picking the effortless fit where I'm basically being lazy, give me Kyrie Bron. It's just, just you do you and you do you. We'll figure the rest out. So the easiest fit is them two. The best fit, I think, is Bron and Wade. And I think the interesting, if you want to really, like you mentioned him before, you were joking, but I don't know if Luka can play with prime Bron. I don't know.
Because then he won't get to be Luka.
Exactly.
This version of Bron is the best thing for
It's
Luka.
Perfect. Now, if you want to go situationally, like eras of who this was, I think honestly, LeBron's career almost went perfectly for what he needed for that time frame.
Yeah.
Because the first stint was him figuring out who he was and how he played and everything. Then it's like, okay, how I played in Cleveland is cool. That's LeBron James. But how's LeBron James win as a champion? How I play as a champion? He figured it out with D-Wade. He figured out how to play off the ball more, how to, give when he needed to take a step back. He figured that out. So when he went to Cleveland, it's a lot easier because now I have a designated killer who can't do as much. But I'm fine doing it more because I can do that effortlessly. That's been my game since I was 16, since I was 8, since I was whatever. So now it's just an easy fit for what he needed at that time to where I'm Superman. I can wear this cape effortlessly, bro. If you can give me 41 in the finals, great, we'll take it. But guess what? I'm right there with you. I can give you 41 too. But I'm going to have a triple-double tag with mine. But now he's at the point where it's like, or let's go to LA, right? I'm kind of, cementing next legacy thing. So I'm trying to figure out who to pass the baton to. You seem like a good fit. You one of the best players in the league on paper, and you can be that guy. Let's see what that looks like. well, you can't do that, guys. So I still got to wear Superman a lot more than I want to, but you're a great Robin in terms of helping out when I need to, being a great defender. And I don't think people realize how disgusting defensively that the Lakers team was, bro. Like they legit had like 4 7-footers on that team that were just like I think Gil Arenas was the one who talked about it. He was like, bro, if I'm them, Dwight, AD, Bron, JaVale McGee, and I think was Book on that team? Or was
He
it
never
afterwards?
played.
Yeah, yeah. So give me what's it? AD, LeBron, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and at that point it don't even matter. Like that last person is almost irrelevant, bro. Like give me a shooter. I don't even care. You got to be defending.
Morris. It was the Morris twins.
Oh yeah, Morris. So you're talking about 6'8" and up at minimum. Mm-hmm. That's disgusting. Where are you going on that team? Because they're athletic, they moving, they're fast. Everybody 6'8" and up. So you're talking about 7+ foot wingspan across the board. You're not scoring against them, bro. So for LeBron at that time, great. That's what he needed. Transition to being Luka now. It's like I can't carry the load. 2 weeks I can, 2 weeks I can't. I'm really just hit and miss. So now having a guy who's a version of me, basically, he carrying most of the load, and now I can be the Robin like D Wade was. Boom. Now it's feeling like that. So we might have to revisit this list in a year or two and see if Brian ends up taking a spot or two and see how he climbs with this list. If Luka can stay there and LeBron stays healthy and win a ring. But LeBron's career almost played out perfect with what he needed for each version of him that he had. It's kind of crazy to think about that way too.
Yeah. Only thing that hurt him was like you guys being healthy, stuff like that, like that. I mean, but you told it right. The version he was at every point in his career was what they needed. And maybe that's just him adjusting to what was needed, or maybe that's just him, getting older and learning. Like, all right, what do I need to do, or what does this team need? Because they love to be like, Bron had to go to Miami to learn how to win, and to some extent, I'm sure that's true. But I feel like his IQ is so high. It's like, all right, what do I need to do? I get like the chemistry part of it. Obviously, that's big in basketball. Yeah. We got to get the chemistry down. But like, what can I do to make this team championship worthy? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or to give us the best chance to win. And he do it. He just do it. And now he's like you said, I can't carry the load with, he on the Lakers. Luka come in and is like, all right, you got it.
Yep.
I'll be, playing 4-man role, stretch 4, point 4, whatever you want to say. And you be you. You got it. You the guy. Mm-hmm. Basically, I'm like, I'll be AD. You got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it works because they both can facilitate, they both can score. But you let Luka carry the load and Bron learn how to play without the ball. And he can shoot so much better than he used to now. So, like, that's part of being the best version. Because if he was not the shooter that he is now,
like imagine Heat, LeBron, and Luka right now.
They'll be in the way.
Working.